So there's another idea of an elementary principle that, not elementary, but maybe this is more middle school, about how to solve certain type of equations. For example, some of you all might remember proportions. Like if I give you 3 over x equals 2 over, I don't know, let's just say 5. I'm just making up something, okay? And if I asked you to solve for x, some of you might remember that we would do something like cross products here. 2 times x is 2x, and 3 times 5 is 15. And now I have a one-step equation where if I divide both sides by 2, we'll see that x is actually 7.5. All right. So this is when we have more concrete numbers or more exact numbers and one variable here is not all variables, which we would then call a literal equation. So if I have something, so essentially this problem is solve, the directions would say solve for x. So if I give you this problem with all variables that says w equals bf over n, and if I ask you to solve that for n, we ultimately want our answer to say n equals, just like we solved for x, and it said x equal, we ultimately want this to say n equals. So there is a series of steps that you can take to actually get n by itself, okay? So one of the things is what we have to look at is, one way that you can look at this as, if I look at this as a fence, and if I ask myself, well, what's in the way of n being by itself? Okay, and when I say by itself, it's sort of like the w is right now. W is by itself. It's not bothered by any other variables or any other expressions. So how can I accomplish the variable n being by itself? That means we need to get rid of it, okay? So there are several techniques that we can do here. I'll just do one in particular, okay? So one such way of getting n by itself would be to multiply both sides, first of all, by n. And in doing so, on this left-hand side, we would have nw, because n times w is nw. Here, the n's would cancel out, and I would be left with bf. And now the last move to get n by itself would be to divide both sides by w, and we will see the w's would cancel, and therefore n would be equal to bf over w. We have successfully accomplished solving for n.